Hey everyone, my name's Kai, my artist name is KVI, and today I was going to break down how I made my lo-fi song called Contemplation, which is on my Introspection album on Spotify. First off, I started with the piano melody. To do this, I used a Labs Piano VST plugin, which is a really good ambient, mellow sounding piano. I then used an EQ, which cut out some of the extreme highs and extreme lows to make it kind of a smoother overall sound right here. And then in the piano roll, I just kind of plugged in notes, made a simple chord progression, and then layered up on a simple top melody. And here's what the resulting piano melody sounded like. For the drums, I started by creating a simple kick pattern, making it kind of a boom bap style, but simple rhythms that you tend to hear in lo-fi pieces. Once I had this rhythm, I then went into the mixer board and added a parametric EQ again, which kind of emphasized that low reverberant end of the kick, as well as adding a compression, which helped just a little bit to boost it a little bit, give it a little bit more punch to the mix. For the clap sound, I did a similar process. I went into the EQ, this time emphasizing more of that middle range and cutting out that low range, not to get too much muddiness in the mix. And then I also added a fruity reverb, which basically just added more ambience. Then for the hi-hats, I did a similar process again, opened the piano roll, put in a string of eighth notes, added some triplets and other embellishing notes to make it really kind of flow with the piece, went to the mix board, added an EQ to cut both the lows and the highs. You don't want too much upper end. And then I also added something called a Fruity Love filter, which basically enables you to kind of mute and change a certain tone of a sound. Lastly, for the open hats and the crashes, I went into the mix board and added, again, parametric EQ, cutting out especially a lot of the highs this time. Don't want that to be too shrill. And then I also added that Love filter again, which kind of mellowed out the sound some more. So altogether, the drum submix basically sounds like this. Once I finished the drums, I realized I needed more low end, so I went back to the melody and added a acoustic bass guitar, just simple root notes of the piano chords that I'd made to really fill out that bottom end. For the bass, of course, I added the parametric EQ, cutting the extreme lows but kind of boosting right here in the middle, giving it that little oomph behind the sound. I also went through a plugin called Sound Goodizer, which does the same thing, adds ambience, adds reverb, anything kind of boosting that sound. Still building off of that melody, I added a secondary piano melody for the middle section and for the end, kind of giving it more uniqueness and helping that kind of fill out the rest of the mix. And here's what that piano melody would sound like. And as you might notice, for this transition section, I also added a secondary snare sound to really make that sound different from the first section. I also included some atmospheric sounds. I really always try to, within my mixes, make them sound very atmospheric, really set the mood. So on these, I added a rain sample that really adds to that background ambience of the track. Along with the rain and atmospheric sounds, I also use a lot of automation to help with the transitions and really make it flow from one section to the next. With that being said, here is what the rest of the song sounds like from that middle section to the end. Overall, I think that this mix came out pretty well, and so far, since it's been released, I've had pretty good comments and kind of reactions to it on my Spotify and on my Instagram. So please feel free to leave a comment on what you thought of this beat, and make sure to stay tuned for the next upcoming video.